Obviously a tremendous win for us and tremendous win for the progression of our program. Now the biggest thing that we have to do is put that behind us and continue to move forward. We've got state championship game, I guess you could call it, this week, an in-state rival coming up, and so should be a lot of fun. Be one of the longer travels that we've taken this year, we'll have to, we'll do some things travel-wise to prepare for that. Be an early game and be a 1:30 kickoff, I think is what it is, Eastern time, so 12:30 our time. So it'll be a little bit earlier than we're used to. So, but all in all, should be it's one more chance for us to compete, and one more chance for us to go 1-0. And obviously that's our focus coming off of these two big wins that we've had these past 2 weeks. Is continuing our continuing our focus on the work at hand and the task at hand, and getting better and improving each day. And we'll continue to do that moving forward, and that'll continue to be our mindset moving forward as a team.
Eastern Kentucky's got us struggled this year so far throughout the season. Expectations. Just how do you approach coming in and playing your team?
Well, as soon as you turn on the film and you watch it, you'll figure out really quick how you approach it, and that's with your utmost focus, because they got a lot of good players, got a lot of good personnel. They just I think they've had some turnovers offensively that's hurt them, and some things like that, but they're just as talented as anybody we've faced this year. I assure you, it's not because of a lack of talent or depth or anything like that. I think they just the ball hasn't rolled their way a couple of times. They haven't got some breaks or whatever the case may be. I think, like I said, I think they've turned the ball over a little bit offensively, so I know that's hurt them. I've felt those pains. So, the bottom line is since I've been here in my career here, I haven't done very well versus Eastern Kentucky. So obviously they're going to get our utmost focus, just as every team will that's left on our schedule, and we'll go at it like that.
Can you talk about what it's going to be like to face Benny Coney? I mean, that you've seen him before.
Yeah.
You know what he can do. How do you game plan for somebody like him, knowing you've got your own quarterback?
Very carefully, because he can. He's a good athlete. He can run it. He can throw it. It's very similar to last week. The issues that you face with quarterbacks like him is very similar to the Butler kid at Tennessee State. If you can't get pressure with just your defensive front, if you can't get pressure without having to bring pressure, and you allow that guy to sit back there, he can throw it well and he'll pick you apart. And then what you're forced to do is you're forced to go pressure him. You're forced to blitz him. Well, the minute that you blitz him and you get behind him, okay, and you let the quarterback get up in the pocket and you get behind him and he breaks contain or he hitches up and gets out of contain, then you got serious issues too. So you got to do a good job containing him, keep him within the pocket, make him, at least tackleable, I guess, if that's a word, to where that you can get him down on the ground and not let him get out in space, and then use his legs and his arm to move around and throw it on the run. And if we can do that, then we'll be okay.
Also noticed Tyler Swafford got most of the playing time last game out.
Yeah.
I don't know what Coney's status, but they have Matty Mock, who seems to be a third guy. Probably not sure who you're going to see.
Yeah, that's the biggest probably question for us is like I said, Swafford took the majority of the reps last week. I think Matty Mock started out this season, and you really haven't seen much of him after that. So I don't really know. I don't really know what's going on there, and so you kind of have to go into it very open-ended from a defensive standpoint, because you got to be ready for. I remember Swafford out of high school, right down the road, and he's a thrower and things like that. So that'll be the trick to game planning defensively, is just the unknown. We don't really know who we're going to face back there.
Talk about your offensive line and just what they've done to be good in the last couple of
Yeah, I think from a line of scrimmage standpoint, I think that they've been able to play a little bit more physical. I think they look a little bit more comfortable. They're starting to communicate better, and a lot of that's just experience. Now a couple of those guys have some games under their belt, and they've played together for a little while, and they're starting to communicate a little bit better. And anytime that anytime those guys are on the same page and they know where they're going, they can go there, with a lot more physicality and a lot more oomph behind them. And I think that's kind of what we're seeing. And hopefully that, obviously the challenge now is making sure that continues to grow, because I still don't think, offensively we still haven't played as good as we're capable of playing. I'm still waiting for us to have the quote-unquote breakout game, where we can play as good as good as we can, and we still haven't done that yet, and that's in all phases. So we're still waiting for that.
You feel like the return game is starting to come around a little bit? Is that one of the phases that you're talking about?
Yeah, we still got a lot of work to do there. I think we got better at it, just from a standpoint of, I think our kids were in good positions, as far as from a schematic standpoint and things like that. But the biggest thing we got to do around here right now with our team is making sure that we understand, just because we've beaten two really good teams the past two, we haven't arrived yet. We're not just going to show up and roll our helmet out there on the field and say, hey man, the Mighty Racers, who've had two really good games the past weeks, are here. We still got a lot of work to do, and that's offensively, defensively, special teams wise. But I think the return game is a big part of that. We've got to get something going in the return game, both from a punt return standpoint and a kickoff return standpoint. From a kick coverage standpoint, our kick, golly, man, our Sappington, he must be the best tackling kicker I've ever seen in my life. And every time I see him do it, it makes me want to puke. Just be perfectly honest with you. Kids get all fired up about it, and he doesn't mind it. But that's obviously not good. You can't do that. So we got a lot of work to do. We didn't run the ball tremendously well last week. I think we only had like 60 yards of rushing. And then defensively, man, we got to get off the field. We still, man, we're getting ourselves in too many long drive situations, and I think we did okay third down wise, but a couple of those third downs, there's like third and long, and they're able to convert those, and we got to get better there. We got to be able to pressure the quarterback better and put some hits on him. And then offensively, man, biggest thing we got to do is, if we get the ball first, we got to go score. I don't know if we've had a game this year where we've gone out the first series and scored, went down the field and scored. I can't remember that. I've been trying to rack my brain. So there's a lot of things that we got to do to improve, and there's still a lot of improvement to be done. Am I happy and very encouraged about the past 2 weeks? Absolutely. But our mindset, that's the biggest thing that I'm worried or I'm concerned with this week with our players, is making sure that our mentality's where it needs to be going over here for this game, because there's going to be a lot of different things. The travel will be different. Where we're staying at will be different over there. I think Georgia's playing Kentucky over there, so we're not staying at our normal hotel. We're going to be split up in two different hotels. The kickoffs and earlier kickoffs. So there's a lot of things that we've got to get squared away and make sure that we're mentally tough enough to handle when we get over there, before we ever step foot on that field. And obviously that's my job, and I'm going to make sure that we do that.
Something about also Devin Borders, who's just a fabulous player, good receiver for them. It's a little bit about that. Yeah,
they like I said, they've got a tremendous amount of talent over there. They're very shifty, very fast, in all skill positions, defensively and offensively. They're pretty big up front. Obviously the D line front, they don't have Noah Spence back, but they got this other number 44. He's a big, long, fast kid. And then offensively up front, they've got some guys who can lean on you. If you let them start leaning on you. So they're tremendously talented. From from a talent standpoint, when you put on that film, you're almost kind of baffled when you see their win-loss rate, their record. You're kind of baffled a little bit because it doesn't add up to what you're seeing on film. And I think the first time our kids have seen, I think that was kind of what they realized too, was they were going, hold on a minute now, this isn't adding up. So they're tremendously talented. They've got a lot of places, both with their defensive scheme and both with their offensive scheme, that can put you in a tremendous bind.
Demetric Johnson?
Yeah?
Where does he line up after a game like Saturday? Do you line him as a wide receiver? Do you run him out of the backfield as a check down? But where does he?
That's the question. Where am I going to line him up?
Where are you going to line him up?
I don't know. I'm not telling you that yet. I don't know. Obviously that's the thing as an offensive coach. Is what you try to do. You try to put your playmakers in as many situations to touch the ball as you can. And we've been very fortunate the past couple of weeks. We've had guys like Demetric Johnson, like Mario McGraw, like Jesse Blackburn, like Jordan Gandy. You saw Tyree Gray made a big catch, the other night as a true freshman. So we've got a couple of different weapons that we can use, and it's just a matter of making sure that you use all those guys without putting so much stuff in that you confuse everybody. So we've got to. We always do I always have a guy up in the box that charts touches, during the game, and we always make sure that everybody's getting touches. And we go into halftime. Hey, who hasn't gotten any touches? We need to make sure that he gets some touches. It's one thing we did with Jordan Gandy last week. I don't think he had very many touches the first half. We came back and said, hey man, we got to get him involved. So we came out and tried to do that, and we'll continue to do that. So one thing that you got to be careful of in this time of the season is you're starting to get a lot more tape on your opponents. You're starting to get 6-7 games plus last year's game if it's the same coaching staff, and you got to be very careful that your kids can't see the forest through the trees. You don't put so much stuff there that they don't exactly know what the game plan is. So we got to do a good job of watering it down and making sure that we're very concise in what we want them to see, what we don't, more importantly, what we don't want them to see, and what we're not going to be concerned with to get a good game plan going.
Injury-wise, how do you come out?
I think we're okay. Nothing from the game too major. We still had some guys who were like Dylan Boone. He's matter of fact, he's in Nashville. He's headed to Nashville right now to see a specialist right there for his nerve in his shoulder. So hopefully we'll get him back. But as far as the game went, I think I'm trying to think right now. I think we should be okay. Just some bumps and bruises, contusions, and as you well know, that's the biggest thing right now. You're changing your practice schedule on a weekly basis, just trying to get our horses to the race. And we'll continue to do that, especially this week. With the travel, because we'll have to leave or we'll have to do all of our stuff early Friday morning and kind of move everything up so that we can get done and we can get over there. And we'll try to keep everybody fresh.
Lamont was talking a little bit about the linebacker depth and mentioned that Quincy Williams has played some in safety. Does that continue to just kind of show the depth that this linebacker core has?
Yeah, I think so.
It's Halloween.
You got your suit to match all your shirts and stuff that you.
Happy Halloween, Coach.
You look really bad. I'll be honest with you. You need to show up to a game with all these muscles that you got right here.
No, just hang on a second.
Huh? Should I do mine too?
Coach, what?
Huh?
You should have dressed up.
I need me a shirt like that so it can show all my ab muscles.
Hey, I like the costume.
Who put you up to this? Was this Ed? Did he put you up to this?
No, I was actually going to come in a stormtrooper.
He had a costume once. Yeah, because he's a huge
I
star.
thought about coming in a costume, and I was like, nah, I got a long day. I don't have time for that. But this is amazing.
That's pretty good.
Appreciate it, Coach.
That's pretty good. Are you trick-or-treating tonight?
Yeah.
Don't come to my neighborhood. Don't come to my neighborhood.
We're going to trunk or treat.
Trailer treats.
Trunk or treat.
Going all over.
I'm looking for a trunk or treat. I need somewhere.
Nobody give him candy. If he comes to your house, don't give him candy. He doesn't need it. It's bad for
You
you.
go to the county park, you go to Chestnut Park, they're going to have a whole trail of treats, man.
Chestnut.
Yeah, tonight.
At the
There,
park.
some kids would love to see. Is your watch matching on purpose?
He does that all the time. He does it all the time. If you look at his car, he's got a Superman logo on his car too. So
Now that this press conference has been hijacked, KD, is it a Cam fan? Like, are you a Cam Newton fan, or?
Oh yeah, I
are you
always
just a Superman fan?
always been a Cam Newton, big Superman fan. Also, just wanted to go along with the holiday festivities. Just today being Halloween. First day of class back. Halloween.
Did you choose Superman because you had a Superman Saturday, or?
Oh no, it's just always. I just feel like I always just want to be Superman. I just want to help everyone and just be friendly.
Great answer.
When it comes to the EKU game, what is your kryptonite, so to speak? What is EKU going to have to do to stop you?
Oh, it really wouldn't be too much of them stopping me. It'd be us stopping ourselves. Just preparing during the week. Just a great week. Preparation. Of going into the game. That's the only thing that can stop us.